All right, Coach. So the euphoria is worn off, but how does it still feel to beat that Pitt team, at home on Monday?
Yeah, it's obviously something we've addressed with the group now that we have to turn, kind of close that chapter and move on very, very quickly. But at the same time, there's still a ton of positives and a ton of momentum that we can take from Monday night's performance, which is also important because it's a similar quality of opponent. It's another ranked opponent. It's another big name school in the context of men's soccer. So, I hope while we need to move on, we can also take some of the best parts from that performance and from that game to help us get over the line here tomorrow night as well.
So you had a heck of a crowd on Monday, and this time you get Penn State, another historical rival, on a Friday night. Are you anticipating another big crowd?
I certainly hope so. Yeah, it'd be great to have even more than we had on Monday night. Obviously, the forecast on Monday probably would have kept a few people at home as well. So, looks like it's going to be a beautiful night. Looks like there's a great offer to get to the women's game tonight, who are also playing Penn State in a ranked game, and to double down and have the women's team and the men's team both beat Penn State in the space of 2 days would be pretty cool.
Now, ever the perfectionist, you walked off the field and you said you wanted a clean sheet after beating the number 3 team in the country. So obviously, probably defense was the focus this week. So what's the game plan heading into?
Yeah, look, I think the quality of goal that we conceded was disappointing a little bit, and there's some moments there that we need to improve for sure. So. Look, we're always going to be consistent with our approach. So before we moved on to Penn State, we reviewed Pittsburgh and made sure that we didn't miss anything, and made sure that despite the result, the performance was analysed and assessed. And yeah, there's a couple of moments that we'll need to improve, not just for Penn State, for the course of the season. And that was addressed, and I think that'll be something we work on a little bit today, while looking at some areas where we think we can exploit Penn State as well.
1-0-1 the Nittany Lions. They got a nice win, and they took a draw as well. Win over Syracuse, I should say. What's the scouting report on them?
Yeah, Syracuse was a good game for us to watch, quite honestly, because Syracuse play a similar formation to us. So, we got an understanding of how Penn State will potentially line up and defend against us, and obviously attack at the same time. And I think that's always quite valuable, given our formation, that there are some noticeable differences that we have to guess sometimes what the opponent's going to do if they haven't played someone that plays the same formation as us. So Syracuse was the perfect game in that regard. I think it also puts our guys on notice that they've beaten a quality ACC team. They'll take a lot of confidence from that, as well as the fact that they've beaten a team that plays the same formation that we do. So in terms of scout, there probably couldn't have been a better game for us to be able to prep to, again, hopefully make sure that we nullify their threats and exploit what we believe to be some of their weaknesses as well.
So like you said, you beat an ACC team, now you're going on to a Big Ten team. Now you go overseas in soccer, you see in England it's very a speed-based game. In Italy, traditionally it's defensive. Tiki-taka in Spain. Do you kind of see that from conference to conference? Sometimes,
yeah. I think, between obviously what we faced in Penn State in a very technical team, a lot of quality, possession-based team that like to be with the ball. I think it's a slightly different challenge to that. I think this is a Penn State team that's incredibly hardworking, very good in transition, not afraid to be a little more direct if they need to be. So it will be a different type of challenge. But that's the beauty of our sport. There's a million ways to win. There's a million ways to do it. So Penn State is a very, very different test to what we faced against Pittsburgh, and again, we'll have to make sure that we're prepared for that.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Hey, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Does it show that this team's maturity early on, the way they've been able to kind of turn the page after Monday night, the emotional, journey they were on, and refocus? Does that kind of show early on how mature this team can be and long-term
we'll
goals?
We'll see. That question hasn't fully been answered yet, because we'll need to know where they are come the final whistle on tomorrow night. But it's been an area of emphasis and conversation with the players today to say that Monday was an excellent result and an excellent performance in many, many ways. But are we going to be a flash in the pan? Is that going to be the pinnacle of our season? Or are we going to repeat that? Are we going to be able to turn up again and do that on Friday, and then an even shorter turnaround and do it again on Monday against a challenging Loyola team as well that maybe doesn't get the recognition that Pittsburgh and Penn State do? So those questions need to still remain to be answered. The impression I get from the players is there's a heightened focus right now, a good momentum, and obviously a good buzz and a good energy off the back of Monday night. So I certainly hope we're up to that challenge.
Four goals so far, 4 different goal scorers. Is that pleasing to you to see a lot of different guys getting involved, a lot of guys getting assists too on the score sheet?
Yeah, look, I think we could find ourselves in a situation this season where, with the quality of depth that we have, that again, very much worthy. But you had 2 players at Pittsburgh's team that were, on the Herman Trophy list, and we might not ever have that. We may not ever have that because our players don't simply don't play enough minutes because of the rotation of the players. So our best player is the depth. And I think that can be one of our strongest assets this season. And if that means that they play less minutes and as a result have the potential of less assists and less goals, I don't care as long as they're coming from somewhere. So I think it's always nice to see them get off the mark early, especially some of those attacking players. And there's a few more that still need to and are still desperate to. But look, if we have 20 different goal scorers as opposed to one that scores 10, I couldn't care less, quite honestly.